Since 1991, birds and people are living together in seemingly perfect harmony. Until one day, a young man catches fire. This is Phoenix.
You've been knocked down and got up again. In a corner, you're surrounded, no defenders. You've hid your fury and kept it in. But it's time now, you ignite and turn to embers. Like a phoenix, you burst in a fire burn. A thirst and desire, you transform right up in a flash.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another should be welcome to the deadline stream, not welcome back, but I'm not going to start again. Welcome to the Game Week 13 deadline stream on a Friday, because we have a Friday deadline, which is in 1 hour, 58 minutes, and 8 seconds. I just really need to quickly tweet that I am live and also post on Blue Sky, because apparently some people are using that now. How are we all doing? I've got one free transfer to make. I'm almost certainly going to do Strand Larsen to João Pedro. Maybe instantly regret it when Strand Larsen does really well against Bournemouth. Maybe he'll even outscore Cunha. Who knows? But either way, that's probably going to be my move. I should have made it last night. I basically forgot. I remember discussing it with someone in the evening, and then I watched the Man United game, and then went to bed not long after and just forgot to make the transfer. So I lost 0.1 million. Bit annoying. And it does potentially price me out of a quite nice move in Game Week 14, but whatever. Hi, Andy. My name is everyone. I was going to take a -4 and transfer Havertz to JP and Bruno to Palm, but the price change leave me short. Advice from the calmest FPL manager alive. Just don't worry about it. Like, Havertz and Bruno are both okay this week. I mean, Palmer is pretty nice for captaincy, but I'm sure you've got someone else you can captain instead, right? Cunha, Mbeumo, Fernandes, Welbeck, Wood. Bench 1. Probably got to be Fernandes or Welbeck. Do you take the risk that Fernandes plays deeper? I don't think you can bench Cunha right now. Mbeumo's got Leicester. Welbeck's got Southampton. Wood's got Ipswich. I don't know if I could bench Fernandes, so I'd probably say Welbeck, but I don't know if I could bench Welbeck against Southampton. Flip a coin between those two. I would probably start Bruno, but you kind of knew that before you asked, right? Trying to figure out who to start. Can you rank Van Heck, Aitnuri, Timber, and Anthony Gordon, please? I'd pretty much always start the attacker. So Gordon, then Timber, then I guess Aitnuri ahead of Van Heck for the attacking threat. Like, I feel like if you've got Aitnuri, he's so attacking that you can't really bench him unless the fixture's really bad. Gian Batcher suggests Palmer will not be in his ideal position since Gusto should invert. Any thoughts on this? I'm not even going to pretend I know what's going to happen tactically with Chelsea. I just see Palmer's got Aston Villa at home, and that's really enough for me. I won't even pretend to understand it from a tactical point of view. Ali and Timber and Gabriel, or Raya and Gabriel and Van Dijk. Probably Alisson, Timber and Gabriel right now, as long as Timber keeps playing. I mean, Konate's out, by the way, so definitely not him. Play Trent or sell Timber for free. Or sell. I wouldn't do Trent to Timber now, I don't think. Thing is, if Gomez is out, then if Konate's out, then Gomez will have to play centre back. And if Bradley's out, there ain't many right backs. So I'd probably keep Trent now if I could. I might buy him soon. I might buy Trent soon. Give me a goalkeeper. I'm not sure what you mean. Start Trent or Timber? Timber. I mean, it's not guaranteed that Trent will even start this week, by the way. He might do. Slot did say that he's fit enough to start. McNeil to Saka for a -4. I mean, that sounds like a pretty nice long-term move to me. Captain Salah, Palmer or Saka? I'm going Palmer. I don't have Saka, but I wouldn't captain him ahead of Palmer, I don't think. Is Son worth the risk as captain this week? Have Saka, Salah and Palmer. I wouldn't call Son against Fulham at home a risk. Depends how many minutes he gets, I guess. Like, he's played like 60-odd against City, I think it was, and then 76 last night. That's the problem. I think Salah and Palmer and probably Saka all just have better minutes at the moment. I'm saying that, though. I might even buy Son next week. I'm not completely ruling it out. I think the most likely transfer for me next week is probably Saka in for a hit, but I'm quite tempted just to buy Son and stick with triple defence. Bench order between Mykolenko and Greaves. I think you've got to play Mykolenko ahead of Greaves. I don't think there's a very good chance that he starts, basically. I mean, Mykolenko's away to Man United, I get it, but I suspect that Forest will score anyway. Is Konate now price locked? I don't know. I get confused with price locks and stuff. I don't think it's locked. It's not locked because he's not like gone out on loan like Barco or something like that, I think. But when he gets red flagged, it will just take more transfers for him to go down in price. I think that's how it works. There's probably someone in the chat that knows more than me. I always forget the different rules around price changes. Wouldn't it be nice if FPL just told us? Bench one, see, come on, you can't put up questions like this. Bench one. Do you know what? That's actually ridiculous. Now I've read it. That's actually ridiculous. Mitoma in Burmo, Wood, Cunha, João Pedro. Honestly, oh God. I feel like the answer is Cunha, but then I don't think you can bench a guy that's got 43 points in 4 games. Like Chris Wood, João Pedro and Burmo have all got newly promoted sides and they're all on penalties. Mitoma's got Southampton, whereas Cunha's got Bournemouth, which will be a bit tougher. I think the brave decision is bench Cunha, but I don't think you want to do that, and I don't think anyone watching this would do that. So I think you bench Mitoma, which also sounds ridiculous. Love your content, thank you. I love the fact you're watching. Bench Jackson or Johnson? Johnson. I mean, there is a chance Brennan Johnson doesn't start. Maybe they just go with the same team as last week. That'd be good for me in draft because it means I get to play Maddison, but you probably don't care about that. Have Saka and Palmer and Salah and Rodgers, best 7 million midfielder to get. Oh God, right now there ain't many. Genuinely, I'm not sure what 7 million midfielder you'd buy this week. Mitoma, probably Mitoma. You're not going to buy Johnson. You're not going to buy Garnacho, although Garnacho might not be terrible. Semenyo suspended, so I think you probably get Mitoma. Semenyo to Saka for a -4 or start Rodgers. Well, if you want to keep Semenyo long term, I'd just put off the Saka move until next week. If you're not bothered about Semenyo, I'd take the -4. Who to captain? Cunha, Salah, Palmer, Saka. I'm going Palmer. Lewis to Van Heck or Calvert-Lewin to Evan Nielsen, Welbeck. Lewis to Van Heck. We'll have to start the one I don't sell. I'd probably rather start Calvert-Lewin than Lewis. Would you play Trent over Lewis Hall this week? Probably not. Play Fast or Konate to get. Play Fast or Konate to Gabriel for a -4. Leicester have got Brentford away. I'd probably not take the -4. Play which two of Robinson, Konza, Lewis, or replace one? Well, I wouldn't play Lewis, I think. You can replace one if you want, but that depends on your long-term moves. I mean, replacing Lewis is probably fine long-term. That front line is either a massive differential or you'll be playing blank this weekend. Yeah, I think it's... Well, I'm going to do Strand Larson to João Pedro. I think João Pedro and Solanke are both perfectly fine. Raul Jimenez against Spurs, where it's not ideal, but Spurs are going to be missing probably Romero, Van de Ven, and Vicario, so it doesn't feel awful. Yeah, if I was on Brennan Johnson and I could take a hit to Saka, I'd be pretty tempted to do it now. Like, if you're going to want Saka anyway, right? And Johnson might not even start. I feel like he's more likely to start than not, but I also don't think I'd be spending too much money on that bet. Jackson, Isak or Solanke for Haaland. If Isak, does the Liverpool fixture not worry you? Not massively, because I think the fixtures overall are pretty good. I'd buy Isak out of those three. And in the meantime, Jackson will continue to get lots of points. I'll continue to ignore him completely because of the yellow card situation, and it'll be a lot of fun. In your opinion, who should I transfer in for Bruno in case he plays in the 6th position? I already have Saka, Palmer and Salah. Just keep him a week, decide next week. I don't see Fernandes as this huge problem this week, but I just think that if you've got the transfer to go to Saka, then you probably just should. You're going to want Saka next week anyway, but you're already pretty sorted, right? Who the hell do I captain this week? I have Son, Palmer and Burmo, Salah, João Pedro, Solanke and Wood. I would go. I'm going Palmer. I think, like, out of those, I think Palmer, Mbeumo, Salah probably the top three. Like, I would, like, João Pedro, for example, I'm bringing him in. I think he's great value. Southampton at home, he could get a big haul, but also he might just get subbed early again. And of course, he can do damage in 60, 65 minutes, but for a captain, that's not ideal. Now, after Konate is injured, should I sell him or Lewis? I would definitely sell Konate before Lewis because Konate is more expensive, right? So you free up more money, and Konate is definitely out for like. Well, we don't have an official confirmation from Liverpool about how long he's out for, but there was an exclusive tweeted that I retweeted that it's apparently 5 to 6 weeks. Konate has confirmed that he's out, but didn't say exactly how long. So as much as Lewis is a bit of a rotation threat, he's going to get more minutes than Konate over the next few weeks because he's literally not injured as far as we know. Mbeumo captain, am I crazy? Nope. Leicester know they have a new manager next week and they've been partying in Denmark midweek. I didn't know the Denmark thing. I don't think the new manager would play on my mind that much. When do we find out the sleeper results for last week? So there was... oh, Jesus. There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people that got 7 predictions. So I'll do a draw at the end of the deadline stream. Do not panic. Do not panic. Martinelli didn't play last week. Do you think he'll start this week? He started midweek in the Champions League, right? The honest answer is I'm not 100% sure. I think Martinelli, Havertz, Saka is the preferred front three, but it could be Trossard again, I guess. Trossard's fit, right? I'm going to trust you with Palmer captain. If it fails, I'm blaming you. You can just blame yourself. If you don't want to go for Palmer, you should just go for someone different instead. I'm not forcing anyone to captain Palmer. I think the most popular captain this week will be Salah by quite some distance. That's who the majority of people are going to go for, I reckon. Maybe some will now go Saka because he got 13 points last week. But before that, I don't think many people were considering it. I think Salah will be the most popular. Is Konate to Timber worth a -8? I mean, it's just a -4, right? The fact you've already taken a -4 shouldn't... You know, you should just think of it as a -4, really. I mean, the answer to that is... What's your alternative in terms of defenders being played? Like, I wouldn't have expected a clean sheet necessarily from Konate this week anyway. So if you've got to play like Lewis against Liverpool away, is it that much worse? Probably not. And I probably wouldn't take the hit. Got Welbeck in 2 weeks ago. Worth a hit for Pedro? Absolutely not. I wouldn't say so. Not until Welbeck starts losing minutes. With Konate out, is Salah a worse captaincy option against City now? Is City may be able to play more attacking? I think with those things, right, potentially it makes a minor difference, but I don't think Konate being out should be enough to swing away from Salah captain if that's what you were thinking. I just don't think it has that big of an impact. I know what you're saying, right? It might be, you know, Man City might be able to create more because Konate's not there, but it's not like Gomez or Kwanzaa are like awful. Like, it is a downgrade on Konate, but it's not necessarily the end of the world, right? So if you were going to captain Salah, the fact that Konate is out would play no part in the decision for me. Just captain Salah if that's what you want to do. Ali Hani, thank you. Should I play Van Dijk or Ain't Nuri? I'd play Ain't Nuri, I think. Son to Saka would be the big one this week. Thoughts? I think people with Son who are considering going to Saka will basically be asking me this question every week. I don't think, especially after the 13-pointer last week, I don't think any Son owners want to keep him over Saka. So if you don't do it this week, you're going to want to do it next week. If you've got the spare transfer and you know 100% it's going to happen one way or another over the next few weeks, I would just do it now. I wouldn't take a hit for it, though. I'd rather keep Son in that case. Do I think Mitoma starts and Dunk starts? Dunk, I wouldn't be that confident in, to be honest. Mitoma, I don't see why not. There is a midweek game week coming up for game week 14, but Brighton actually have quite a bit of a gap. So Brighton are playing tonight, Friday, and then they don't play again till Thursday. So although it's midweek, they've got a good few days off. It's game week 14 to 15 that is worse for Brighton. It's Thursday to Sunday. So who knows? Maybe we'll see João Pedro rotated against Leicester. It could happen. Rao to João Pedro or Robot to João Pedro and Semenyo to Saka -4. I've not liked a -4 for Haaland the whole way through. I don't completely hate it against Liverpool. I mean, yeah, I kind of like the Haaland move, but it just doesn't feel right removing him for a hit. I don't think. Nothing in the bank. 1 free transfer Trent to Timber. I'll need funds to upgrade Fleck to Alisson on a 4th 4.5 defender in case Aït-Nouri is suspended. If I wait, Trent drops tonight anyways. Well, I mean, if you're going to end up doing Trent to Timber anyway, then I guess yes, because Timber's got a better fixture this week. But if you're not sure about selling Trent, the thing with price drops, okay, like I've made transfers this season to avoid price drops. I did it in Game Week 2, I did it in Game Week 3 for Kwanzaa and Nkunku, so I'm not against it. But if it's a player that you want long-term, you want them long-term because presumably you think they're going to get points. And if they get points, they can get that money back. So if you've had Trent since 7 million, he's gone down to 6.9, now 6.8. They've got good fixtures from 15. If he keeps playing and does well, his price will go back up. So just consider that. But if you're going to have to make that move anyway, then I guess, yeah, you could just do it this week instead. Look at Bruno Fernandes, for example. He dropped. He's now back up to his starting price because he did well, at least for 2 weeks. Since then, not so good. What do you think about captaining Bowen? He's home to Arsenal. Is Bruno a concern under the new system? Yes. Trent's not 6.8 now, but he's close to dropping in price. He's 6.9. Canati out for a -4 for anyone. Have to play Lewis. I would just play Lewis, I think. I guess Lewis isn't guaranteed to start, though, is he? But even if he comes on for a cameo, that's 1 point. Plus your 4, that's 5. Which defender are you going to guarantee more than 5 points for? It's a tricky one. Son to Palmer or stick and roll the transfer. I think that's similar to the Saka conversation, right? If you're going to do Son to Palmer eventually anyway, maybe just do it this week because Palmer's pretty great. But if you're happy captaining someone else, rolling is absolutely fine. It's a close call. It's one of those that there's not really a strong, yes, you should absolutely do that, or no, you definitely shouldn't. If you're going to do it anyway, you could go ahead and do it. But rolling's always nice. Having 2 free transfers is good. Palmer has never recorded a goal or assist against Villa in his life. In his life. How old is he? Let me see. 21, is he? Cole Palmer, where is it? How old are you, my man? He's 22 years old. In 22 years, Cole Palmer has never scored a goal or got an assist against Aston Villa. That is mental. 22 years. Now, for a lot of that time, he was a kid. So maybe we can forgive him for that. How many times has he played Aston Villa? He's played Aston Villa 4... Oh, he's played Aston Villa 4 times. Yeah. Terrible. Anyway, I wouldn't care about that. Basically, just because he hasn't, when you put it like that, he's never scored in his life. You make it sound so dramatic. Like it's 4 games. You know, this time next season, we might be sat here saying Cole Palmer's only ever got 2 goals against Aston Villa in his life in 5 games. Should we be captaining him? You know, you just never know. Captain João Pedro, Son or Salah. I would probably go Salah out of them. Kulu or Mitoma to bring in. Mitoma for me. No, he's played them 4 times according to Transfer Market. Ooh. I don't know. That's probably cup competitions as well, I guess. He's played Brighton 6 times and scored 5 goals. A lot of them came this season. How's he already played 6 times? I guess he got some minutes for Man City. How many times has he played against Villa for Man City, by the way? Let me see it. I'm going to have a look at this now. You got me interested. Palmer stats. Hang on. Let me find them here. So, full stats. Because last season was his first at Chelsea, right? Did he play Aston Villa in the Cup? He played Aston Villa... Yeah, he played Aston Villa in the FA Cup, 0-0. And then there was a replay, 3-1 they won. And he blanked in both of them, yeah. And in the league. Absolutely terrible. Sal Palmer, maybe. Sal Palmer. Palmer captain or Saka? Saka is very tempting. Again, I'm going Palmer. Like I've said this a lot now. If you want to go Saka, absolutely fine. Go Saka. I think, honestly, I think the 13-pointer last week for Saka is playing on everyone's minds, and Palmer's only got 2 returns in 6. And that's absolutely fine if that's what you want to kind of base it on. Also, by the way, Arsenal do look very good with Odegaard back. It is going to be a struggle for West Ham. I think Saka is a perfectly reasonable and great captain this week. If you want to go for him. I'm going to take the guy at home, I think. I don't have Saka either, which helps, but I'm going to go Palmer. My defence is Gabriel, Konate, 8 Nuri, Greaves, Lewis, 1.6. Would you take a -4 to sell Konate up to Timber, Van Dijk or Trent? I don't think I'd buy a Liverpool player before City for a hit. Timber, long-term option, maybe. I'd probably just play Gabriel, 8 Nuri, and Lewis, I guess. I don't know if Lewis is going to play, though. If you're confident about Timber longer term, and you know you're going to do it anyway, maybe you could just take the -4. He might go and get you an attack and return and a clean sheet. I still have Haaland, but need the funds to bring in some big defenders, and my defence is shocking. Haaland to Cunha. Sounds good, yeah. Don't mind Haaland out, as you know. Can't believe you forgot about the Villa versus Chelsea FA Cup ties last season. It ruined your transfer plans. Yeah, it did a little bit. That's what forced me into free hit 29. Which I will die on the hill of was not as bad as everyone made out. Like, the decision wasn't as bad. I think the outcome was absolutely terrible. Everyone is talking about Jackson's 4 yellow cards like Diego Costa a couple of seasons ago. He kept on scoring. He did, yeah, but also wasn't there a time last season where everyone wanted Maddison and Maddison was on 4 yellow cards and then he picked up the 5th yellow card the next game or two and he was out and people had transferred him in. Like, there's probably loads of examples where a player has got the 5th yellow card quite quickly. I would like 8 Nuri to get one quick because I've avoided him. Talk me out of Chris Wood captaincy. I don't know if I really want to. Ipswich at home, it ain't bad. The thing is, right, with captaincy, you really want someone that's quite likely to play 90 minutes and on penalties. And Chris Wood's likely to get subbed early, I think. He's on penalties, though. I don't hate it, but I wouldn't do it myself. Seems mad to get rid of Haaland now because of City's fixture run. A lot of people have got rid of him, so slight differential. Yeah, slight differential for sure, but you just want to make the decision that's going to get you the most points, right? Like, if you think it's genuinely close between whether you should sell him for your team or not, then yeah, you could maybe look at the differential angle. But, you know, you've already said you want money for defender upgrades. It lets you get a midfielder as well, presumably, like a premium. Is that going to net you more points in the long run? Possibly. Why would you captain Palmer over Saka? Why would you not? Like, let me know in the chat, right? Why is everyone all of a sudden so keen to captain Saka this week? Not all of a sudden. People have been talking about it all week. But I feel like the hype around him has massively increased this week. Is it just the Odegaard factor? I mean, Saka has been very consistent this season. It also has to be said. And West Ham are pretty good team to be playing against. In Burma, captaincy over Salah and Palmer too wild? No. Could maybe say it's not wild enough. Captain is Salah at the moment, but do have Saka and Burma and João Pedro. Sounds good. Nothing wrong with Salah captain. 2 free transfers done. Haaland, Semenyo to João Pedro, Saka. I mean, that's great, right? Mikalenko, Bruno to Palmer, Timber -8. No, I would just keep your team for free. Form, yeah, form. Arsenal are good again. Were Arsenal ever bad? Don't think so. He is the better player. I mean, that is debatable. I do love Saka, so I could maybe agree with that. Bowen or Morgan Rogers? I mean, Bowen's better long term, but he's more expensive. Start Aina against Ipswich or Strand Larsen? Ooh, I'd probably start Strand Larsen, but I get the temptation. West Ham are really poor and Villa have Konza and Kamara back. Oh, God, you're making me worried now about Palmer captain. Arsenal look great in the moment, strongest line. But it wasn't that long ago that everyone was talking about Palmer as though he was the most essential player in FPL. Like, I just don't know if Odegaard being back should be swaying everyone's opinion so much. Like, if I'd ask you, if after game week 11 when Saka blanked, I'd ask you whether you'd be captaining him in game week 13, I don't think many of you would be captaining him. And I'm not trying to talk people out of it. Like, there's nothing wrong with Captain Saka, but I think the hype around him is getting to levels now where it's getting a bit silly. Like, he's not... He's not the new whatever Mo Salah, you know? Any update on this new FPL chip? What do we think it is? I've got no idea. I don't know when it's going to be announced. Presumably sometime early December, because I think we can use it from like January. God, I'm not looking forward to when Saka outscores Palmer. If Palmer blanks before Salah plays on Sunday, that's going to be a killer. Because not only have I not captained Saka, I don't even own him. Odegaard back. Arsenal defence is better. Palmer dropping deeper to get the ball. Oh, Palmer's terrible. Yeah, fair enough. Don't captain Palmer, honestly. If you don't think he's great this week, just don't captain him. Have Isak, Solanke, Jackson, Cunha, João Pedro needed? No, not really. They beat West Ham 6-0 last season and Saka is their best asset. Nice, yeah. Palmer plays after Saka. Yeah, but before Salah. I don't have Saka, so Saka captain's not really a consideration for me. I'm just thinking, right, a couple of weeks ago when I was talking about my future moves, I said that I felt no pressure to buy Saka because I wouldn't be captaining him. And I just don't remember too many people saying, but you're going to need Saka captain against West Ham. Maybe, I mean, I will say they look very good against Forest and they were very good against Sporting. So Odegaard is a big plus for that Arsenal team. And I'll probably be buying Saka next week for a hit because I shouldn't have got Saliba. Do you think Salah... I'm not convinced that Salah is the safer bet over Saka, to be honest. But it is a pretty good time to play Man City. That has to be said. I'm on holiday in London. Finally able to catch your stream in the actual time zone. Very nice. We'll be flying to Manchester for the Everton game. Enjoy. Hopefully it's a big win with Bruno Fernandes hat-trick. Start Strand Larson or Smith Rowe? Strand Larson for me. Like, Cunha shouldn't make a difference, really. Salah has been way more consistent than Palmer yet. What am I doing with Bruno long term? I'm basically giving him this game and then probably selling him next week. But I want to just make the decision in game week 14. I don't want to have to decide this week. I think Man United will get a clean sheet. I think there's a good chance up against Dominic Calvert-Lewin. I probably shouldn't have said that now. He's going to wipe out the clean sheet, isn't he? Remember what happened last time Palmer played against a high line. But haven't Villa had a high line for a while? And he's never scored against him in his whole life. Salah, Palmer, Saka, Bruno, Cunha, Wood, João Pedro, front seven. Nice. I had to take a -8 due to injuries. So could you captain someone safe or a bit of a differential to make up the hit? I would just captain whoever you think is going to score the most points. Don't be trying to make up points for the hits. The hits were taken for, you know, whatever reasons you had, injuries and stuff. It shouldn't affect your captaincy decision, really. Johnson to Saka. If I don't do it now, I'll always want to. Just do it now. Like, it doesn't matter that you can't do Mbeumo to Saka, does it? Because you've got rid of Johnson instead, and Mbeumo is better than Johnson. Can you tell me what strikers and midfielders you'd put on free hit? I mean, the honest answer is I've not thought about this at all. So take what I'm about to say with a pinch of salt because I'm basically doing it on the fly in about 5 seconds now. But I guess you would want Saka, Palmer, Salah, João Pedro, maybe even a double up with Welbeck if money is tight. And then which other striker? Chris Wood, maybe? I'd probably go without Haaland, I think. But again, I've not thought about this for very long. Maybe Solanke. Yeah, Chris Wood, Welbeck, João Pedro. I don't hate that. Maybe Visser in there as well. In Burmo, probably. I'd probably have my midfield, but I'd have Saka instead of Fernandes, I think. It's probably someone I've missed as well. Why does nobody talk about Veltman? That's a good question, to be honest. I think he started the majority of games so far, right? He started 11 of 12. Was he injured in game week 6? I can't remember. The thing is, with Lamptey back, will Lamptey get the odd game there? Possibly, possibly not. He'll never stay fit anyway. But Van Heck's cheaper, isn't he? And he's absolutely nailed on. I like to think if I had Saka this week, I'd probably still be captaining Palmer. But again, there's nothing wrong with Saka. Like, honestly, I'm ranked 920k. I'm just an idiot with a camera that talks about FPL. I know nothing really. If you want to captain Saka, please just captain Saka. Just because I'm captaining Palmer, don't feel like you shouldn't captain Saka. Go with your gut feeling, and it's quite clear by the chat that a lot of you think Saka is the best captain this week. So you should just go through with that. I mean, how many times have I been wrong about stuff this season? Pretty much every single game week, right? And that will probably continue for the rest of the season. I'm just an idiot. Just always remember that. Is Mbermo to Johnson a good option in 15 or go with Matoma? Honestly, I'd probably just keep Mbermo. But we can come back to it in game week 15. Havertz to João Pedro. Don't hate it. Don't think you desperately need to do it this week, though. Is Garnacho Bruno to Saka Matoma worth a -4? Oof. Again, I don't think you need to do the Garnacho Bruno hit, but that is quite tempting, yeah, for just a -4. Start Aina 8, Nuri, Porro, Gabriel, Vandenberg. Porro, Gabriel 8. Oh, that is tricky. Gabriel, I think in your case, I'd bench 8 Nuri. Aina, Porro, and Gabriel. You got a good defense. I could do a poll, yeah, captaincy poll. So your game week. Who's the top 3? Saka, Salah, and Palmer, right? So alphabetical order is LMN. No, wait. J K L. Wait, what am I even trying to work out? Salah's. No, wait. Is K? Oh my god, J K L. Yeah, okay. Saka's first. What an idiot! I told you I was just an idiot. Don't even know the freaking alphabet in order. Okay, there you go. The poll is up. You can now vote. Now, I'm not putting hard in. I don't think many people are captaining him. Should I do Luca Dean to Timber now to get 3 Arsenal defenders for the next 5 game weeks before getting Saka? Need 4 transfers now for Saka, but it will be 5 if I get Timber. Triple Arsenal defence. Without Saka, I think triple Arsenal defence is fine, but you probably will want him. I don't know whether you should block that. Because it is extra transfers, as you've pointed out. So I'd be tempted just to not get him and just leave the Saka spot open. Because it's highly likely you just might want Saka before 5 game weeks are up. Doing the Haaland to Palmer switch, who should I sell from Rodgers or Semenyo? Long term, I'd prefer Semenyo, but he's a bit more expensive and obviously suspended this week, so it depends whether that affects you too much. If Madueke did not block Palmer's shot last week, Palmer's captaincy would have been higher. Possibly, yeah. Yeah. Oh, Mbermo should have been on the list, really, shouldn't he? But I had to put someone else at some point. Just click someone else if you're Mbermo. Do I regret the triple Arsenal defence? I won't if Saka gets injured this week. It's not. I do think I probably just shouldn't have blocked Saka because I love the guy. I mean, he's brilliant. He's one of the best FPL picks. Full stop. And I probably and I had the money. I've got the money right now to go straight to Saka, but I don't have the Arsenal spot. And it's probably going to force me. It's not going to force me into a hit. I could just not take a hit and not get Saka, but I'm gonna want him. I'm sure. What could go wrong with a free hit this week? You just get no points, and the free hit is much more useful later on, I guess. Why so negative on Saka? Seriously, you think I'm negative on Saka? Come on. I've had that guy pretty much in my team for like 3 or 4 seasons now. Even when everyone was picking Smith Rowe, I was picking Saka. Take a hit to bring in MC, Cunha and João Pedro for No. I wouldn't take a hit to take out Isak. Have 1 free transfer. Was going to do Haaland for João Pedro. Now Kanata's injured. Do I take a -4 to bring in Saka? Backup is only Dibbling Greaves. Is it worth the hit? I wouldn't take a hit if it's only to have a better player on your bench. If that's what you're asking, which I think you are. Nick gifted 1 membership. Thank you very much. I do love Saka. I think he's amazing. Like, honestly, the triple Arsenal defence situation feels a lot like Bruno. I own Bruno, obviously, the whole season, but very rarely at any point this season have I recommended bringing him in. And it's the same with triple Arsenal defence. I've not really recommended it at all. I've just done it myself. So I think, the idea that I don't rate Saka as a pick is absolute nonsense. I think he's amazing. Is Saka Irish? I believe so, yeah. Isak or Jackson? Isak. Who's the best defender under 5 million who's not 8 Nuri or Lewis? If I was buying an under 5 million defender this week, I'm pretty sure I would buy Van Heck or maybe Colwill. Lewis Hall's maybe a little bit more interesting, though. Hope you're having a nice Friday. I am, actually. Thank you very much for asking. Hope you are, too. I had a nice after 8 mint before I came onto stream, which is good. Thoughts on João Pedro as captain? I just wouldn't go there because I think an early sub is quite likely. That's it, really. Is Mbeumo Salah worth it if not captaining Salah? I would just keep Mbeumo, to be honest with you, for this week. You can just always do it next week. And yeah, if you're not captaining him, there's probably less need to make that move. Do I have a family? Yes, I believe so. Is Kanate to 8 Nuri for a 4-point hit worth it? I'd probably rather just play another defender that you've got. Do I think Dunk is a legitimate option? Yes, but not this week. If we get we just don't really get Brighton leaks. If we get a Brighton leak, the Dunk is starting. I really like him. But I think really you've got to buy him from next week onwards because there's no guarantee he'll start. But you are right. His goal threat probably is better than Van Heck. So, right, and this is where, I'm going to get some comments about, well, you said that last week you'd buy this player. This week, if I had to buy a Brighton defender, I would buy Van Heck. But next week, if you ask me that same question, it might be Lewis Dunk. And I may even buy Dunk later on. Probably not in 14, but maybe 15 onwards, I might buy him. And he's cheaper as well. But I just don't think you can justify bringing him in this week because he might not start. If you have Dunk, start him. Not if the option is Dunk or Greaves, for example, or Dunk or Lewis, maybe I'd go Dunk. But if it's Dunk and an attacker like Rodgers, I'd probably go Rodgers. Depends who the other option is, right? Captain Raya is a differential out of 10. What do you think? 1, maybe? Bench 1, Aina, Dalot, Saliba, or Veltman? Dalot, probably. I don't think you can bench Aina or Veltman against Southampton and Ipswich. Saliba is probably more chance of a clean sheet than Dalot. Dalot has played pretty well at this new wing-back position, though. It's close, but I'd probably have to back Saliba over Dalot, as much as it pains me to say it. If Bruno plays the number 6 role this week, then I might sell him for Son or buy any of the forwards from Man United. There's no way you're buying Man United players next week. They've got Arsenal away. Vissa captain. Again, early sub potential like João Pedro, apart from he doesn't have penalties. There's just no way I would captain Vissa. If you've got him, great pick this week, but I wouldn't captain him. Watkins and Johnson to Pedro and Saka. If that's for free, absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. If it's for a hit, I love it less, but I definitely don't hate it because Watkins has got Chelsea away. They probably will score, but it's not an amazing fixture, and Johnson may not start. Start Damsgaard or Rodgers? Damsgaard, right? I need to double check. This is the kind of player that I don't really look up that much, but I believe he has been starting, right? Yeah. I think I said that last. In fact, he's started every game since game week 3. I've really been missing out. Yeah, I'd start Damsgaard over Rodgers, I think. Primarily just because of the fixture more than anything. I think Dalot got into some good positions, but yeah, his final ball and stuff like that was not amazing. But I think overall he will play well in that that position. Vissa, Isak, and Cunha up front. Who to transfer out for João Pedro? I would say none of them this week. You could just go without João Pedro. If you have to transfer out one, I would say Vissa, because I think longer term the other two are better. Will, how's it going? Bench one between 15 months, thank you, between Aina, 8 Nuri, and Dalot. I think that. So I don't think you can bench Aina against Ipswich at home. So one of the other two. I think Dallow's more likely to get a clean sheet, and is 8 Nuri more attacking? Probably. I'd go Dalot, I think, in that case. It's very clear that Amorim prefers Mazraoui over Dalot. Yes and no. I think Mazraoui's right now clearly quite liked in that right centre-back position. He is a really good player, but as a wing-back, which is really what you want, I mean, Matsuri did get an assist last night, it's worth saying, but realistically, you want the wing back, and I think Dallo will be used quite a lot. Do I ever go to Galway United games? I have been to Galway United games and not been for a while. I was actually about a couple of hours ago looking up when the fixture list is released, because I might go to a game early next year when it starts back up again. But I don't think the fixtures are out until December 17th, I think it said. On free hit, Viscera in Burmo. Who would you start out of Greaves or Robinson? And by the way, it's mostly because of penalties and his midfielder. Who would you start out of Greaves or Robinson? I don't think Greaves is going to start, so probably Robinson. Is Branthwaite nailed now? He should be as long as he can stay fit. C. Brady, new member, thank you very much. Bench in Burmo, Vissa, Cunha or Matoma. Oh my God, come on, you can't ask. You're not allowed to ask me difficult questions. I want easy questions only. Like, is Bruno Fernandes one of the best FPL picks? Yes, clearly. In Burmo, Vissa, Cunha or Matoma. Okay, it's not in Burmo. You can't bench in Burmo. Most people are not good. If they own Cunha, you're not going to bench him. Let's be realistic. So it's Visser or Matoma. I'm going to go Matoma just because he's a midfielder. And you get a Friday night pick, which is kind of nice. But it's all pretty close. If you've got... Honestly, if you've got an inclination to go a different way, just go a different way. Like, all four of those picks are really good this week. Is Mikalenko to Lewis Hall, Van Heck, Leif Davis, Colwell worth a hit? No, probably not. Thoughts on Leif Davis from Game Week 14? Great question, because I've got Greaves. I think they've got Wolves soon, is it? Yeah, Palace at home, not bad. Bournemouth at home, okay. Wolves away, okay. I wouldn't buy Leif Davis, actually, looking at the fixture list. Once you get past Wolves in Game Week 16, fixtures are pretty terrible for clean sheets. And I know he's attacking, but it's just not enough for me. So I wouldn't buy him. I wouldn't take the hit, to be honest with you. Play Rodgers or Hall. Rodgers, I think. Captain Palmer, Saka and Burma. I go Palmer. Get Saka for a -4. Use bench options. Greaves Dibbling. Okay, if it's Saka -4 or play Greaves and Dibbling, I'm taking the -4 like every day of the week. Proper miss Galway. It's a great spot. I love Galway. Yeah, really great place. Very happy to live here. Transfer out 8 Nuri or Luca Dean. Bench Vandenberg or Rodgers. Probably Vandenberg, although again, that's probably quite a close call. Start Lewis or Mikalenko. Just because Lewis Hall might not start and he's got the more difficult fixture by far. Everton clean sheet against Man United will break the game. Everton aren't getting a clean sheet. They ain't getting a clean sheet. How's my sleeper draft going? It's going terribly. I keep losing. Honestly, as I said on the video I did this week, I feel sorry for myself. I've scored the second most amount of points in that league, and I've had the most against me. It's just not fair. I keep losing by like really small margins. I think I've lost like 3 on the bounce. I feel like my team is better than the results I've had so far. But Dan's just absolutely running away with it, so the chance of me winning it not happening. But top 3 get money for charity, so there's still a chance for that. 5.3 million or below defender to replace Kanate. I would probably go for Colwell or Van Heck because I'm very boring. You could look at Lewis Hall. Is there any other cheap defenders people would be looking at this week that I'm missing? You're not going to buy a Forest one because of the fixtures later on. You're not going to buy a Fulham defender right now or a Brentford defender ever, unless you're like me with Pinnock. I feel like I'm missing something. I don't know if I am. Is it too early for free hit? Team needs emergency help. You probably don't need it as much as you think you do, to be honest with you. Dallo, yeah, Man United, but then they run into Arsenal and City away in the next 4 game weeks. So it's not ideal, really, is it? Is Kwanzaa starting now for Kanate or will it be Gomez? My guess would be Gomez, but I guess we don't know for sure. Spurs captain, is that an option? Yeah, for Son, maybe. What are your thoughts on Isak over Solanke for free? I like Isak, and I think it's fairly clear that he's a better option than Solanke when you add in penalties. I'm not sure I'd use a transfer on it. Like, Solanke's got Fulham at home, Bournemouth away. Isak has Palace away, Liverpool at home. Honestly, I'd be tempted to keep Solanke for a couple more games and then decide what to do. Welbeck to João Pedro if nothing else to do. I think Welbeck will start, so I don't see a massive need to make that move necessarily. Okay, so according to the captain poll, by the way, 37% on Salah. Like I said, I think Salah will be the most popular. 31% on Palmer. Only 15% Saka. So the Saka captainers are not that high, apparently, but they're very noisy, it seems. How urgently should I get rid of Bruno Guimaraes at Newcastle? I think he's a doubt, right? I mean, I got to be honest, I don't think using a midfield spot on Bruno Guimaraes is that good of an idea anyway. Like, there's lots of good midfielders, and I'm not sure he's one of them. I can't remember what Eddie Howe said about him, though. They have a chance to play. They're not serious injuries, so we'll make a decision today. He might play on it. I would look to get rid of him, like, as soon as you can. There's just better midfielders for FPL. Isak and Bruno to João Pedro and Saka -4. Don't think so, no. I'd rather just wait and do it next week, maybe. Obviously, I would rather have João Pedro and Saka. I'm not sure it's worth a -4. Saka is low at the polls because he's not owned by the majority. Yeah, possibly. If we could fix it so that we were only asking people that own Palmer, Salah, and Saka, maybe the results would be a bit different. We'll see. Guten Abend. I'm not sure what that means. I'm guessing it's saying like Guten Tag is hello, right? In German. It's date night with the wife, and we've agreed this week's FPL loser pays for tonight's cocktail bill. Nice. But how would you know who's lost if you're drinking tonight? Yes, game week's a few days, right? Cocktail of choice. Oh, I don't know. I don't really drink cocktails. Pornstar Martini. I once got very ill on them, and the worst thing was it wasn't that long ago. Drink responsibly, please. João Pedro captain or too risky? I'm not sure risky is how I would describe it, and a few people have asked me now, so there's obviously a lot of temptation. The early sub would worry me enough, I think. Saka mostly scores 1 goal, maybe 1 assist most of the time. Yeah, but Palmer's only got 1 goal, 1 assist in the last 6 weeks. There's no way I would captain Bruno Fernandes this week. Zero chance. Best cheap defender to replace Lewis with Colwill or Van Heck, I think. Start Robertson or Lewis. Or Lewis or Timber, play 2 Arsenal defenders. If you've got a free transfer to get a second Arsenal defender, you're going to have those defenders for quite a while, I would say. So I like that. Buy Saka or Palmer this week? Palmer for me. I think Palmer. Roland start Rodgers or Rodgers to Matoma? I like Rodgers to Matoma, but obviously you're adding more money to that spot. So is that going to block you from any other future moves? If no, yeah, go and get him. Dunk in the squad, I reckon he'll start properly next week. You could be correct, yeah. I think that's the most likely thing that happens is that he doesn't start till next week. But there is a chance for this week. Just obviously not a guarantee or anything like that. Sorry, just checking something a sec. 6.1. Don't worry, it's not any interesting team news or anything like that. Start Keane or Pons? I'm not even sure who that's supposed to be. Pons. Ponds. Porro? It's obviously a spell correct, right? A spell check. Or what am I? Autocorrect. Haaland to Isak and Semenyo to Saka Palmer for free. Oh yeah, I love that. Actually, I don't know what I was thinking about. Yes. I'd personally go Palmer over Saka, but it doesn't matter if you go the other way. Just looking at the history, and 7 out of the last 10 games between City and Paul have been over 4 goals. Thought it would be tighter. No, there's been quite a few great games. Wasn't there that one where it ended 4-3 and Firmino chipped Ederson because he came out? There's been some really good games. It's the Arsenal City ones that are probably a bit more boring. Triple captain Salah this week. Am I insane? I'd never want to call someone insane. That's not a very nice thing to do. Would I be triple captaining Salah even against Man City in the way they are right now? Definitely not. I need help. Bench 2, Aina, Hall, Vardiol for sure. Like, no doubts about that. You probably score, but what can you do? What can you do? Note that Palmer's never scored against Aston Villa. Do you know what? You're giving me a great excuse to use an example that I've used many times in the past, right? And people that have watched my videos for years will know exactly the example I'm about to give. What example, for people that have watched for a while, am I about to give for the Palmer has never scored against Villa crew? What am I about to say? Which player am I about to mention? Let's see who can get it the quickest. Klopp was manically attacking. Slot is a bit more balanced. That is true. Yeah, I wouldn't really worry about past results, but there have been some interesting games. Lukaku, chest pin, straight away gets in there. Liam Preston with Lukaku as well. There was a time, I've actually mentioned this on Discord today. There was a time when Lukaku had it's kind of the opposite, right? People are talking about a bad record, but Lukaku had an amazing record against Aston Villa. Against West Ham. And I can't remember the exact numbers, but it was something like 8-8. And everyone went, no, you got to captain Lukaku. You got to get Lukaku 8-8. He's got a great record. And then he blanked. And do you know what happened the next season? People just kept going, oh, you've got to go for Lukaku. He's got an 8-9 record. The previous records don't really mean too much. I'm not saying they have zero impact, because I'm sure players are aware of them. But I just wouldn't worry about it. If Palmer hasn't scored against Aston Villa, in 4 games, does that mean he's never in his career going to be able to score against Aston Villa? Probably not. You need to stop being biased against Saka. It's bringing down your reputation. Patrick, you're talking absolute nonsense. Get out of here. Palmer, Jackson or Saka? Palmer for me. Bench Smith Rowe. I can't wait till next season when I use that Lukaku example again. Bench Smith Rowe or Eze. Eze's only going to be back in the squad. Probably not going to start, so probably Smith Rowe. Smith Rowe to Matoma. You could do that for a free transfer, yeah? Don't hate it. Have CP. Who's CP? Oh, Cole Palmer, Saka, Mo, Rogers. Who do I sell Bruno for? Son? I would just keep Bruno probably, honestly, this week. Decide next week. Son, Matoma, something like that. Henderson to Ray or Verbruggen or Lewis to Timber. I would rather get rid of Lewis, I think, than Henderson right now. I can't believe I'm getting grief for like being biased against Saka. Like, you can't accuse me of bias against Saka. Seriously. It's the most nonsense I've heard all day. As good as the game goes, I see it similar to the Real Madrid game, as Salah had a penalty and a shot on the post, but for the rest of the game, very little. This is my hope for Salah, right? I think because of how City have played recently and how many ridiculous amount of returns Salah's got, people are going to go to Salah when they usually wouldn't. It's not that people have never captained Salah in a game like this, but I don't think the majority of the time people would captain him when so many other good players have better fixtures. So because everyone's going for Salah, it just makes me want to go against him. Because I think in this case, it is a differential that could pay off going against Salah. And if any team can maybe just keep it tight out of nowhere, it's City. I'm not sure, again, I would bet too much of my own money on that happening, but it's possible. Cole Hall or Van Heck for Keane, Lewis, one free transfer. I would say I would buy Van Heck, I think, this week. One free transfer, 0.5 short for Bruno to Saka. Should I do Solanke to João Pedro, Onana to Verbruggen, or Delict to Van Heck for -4 to fund it, or just roll? I would just roll and do it next week for free. Wondering to captain Son, thoughts? Don't hate it, but I think Palmer, Saka, and Salah are probably all better. Shakalaka Mecca, 43 months. Thank you. Gandhi rule applies for Friday kickoff. João Pedro captain. Well, if it applies, you definitely can't captain João Pedro, right? Joshua, 48 months. Thank you. Play which one of Mikalenko, Lewis, Greaves? Mikalenko, I think. Or bring someone in. I'd probably just... Well, if it's for free, you could bring someone in. If it's for a hit, I would just play Mikalenko. Like, Lewis might not start. Greaves might not start. Mikalenko will at least play, to be honest. I never said Palmer was a gamble, but I do think captaincy, he will be a differential over Salah. He's not a differential in himself, but for captaincy, I think he will be a slight differential over Salah. Do I hate all Gunners or just Saka? I don't hate anyone really. Don't really hate anyone. Canate to Van Dijk, Money in the Bank, Matsurawi or someone else. Long term, I'd much rather have Van Dijk over Matsurawi. Just whether or not you can afford to have that much money spent, I guess. Start Keane or Konza and bench Lewis. Well, Keane's not going to start, right? Like, Branthwaite's in now. Unless I've missed something. So it's start Lewis. Start Konza and bench Lewis. Yeah, I'd probably start Konza over Lewis, I think. Saka is probably Andy's second favourite player by mentions. Yeah, my favourite ever FPL pick has got to be Salah because he's just been ridiculously consistent. But in recent years, probably Saka, yeah, second place. Gabriel, definitely up there as well. Secretly, I just love Arsenal. Just love Arsenal. Salah is the first player to score in 5 straight away appearances against Man United in the Premier League. He's got 10 goals at Old Trafford in 9. Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's not that I think these, ex-player has got loads of goals or no goals. Like, I'm not saying they mean nothing, but like Cole Palmer is not woken up. Sorry, he's not going to wake up on Sunday thinking, Christ, 4 games against Villa, I've never scored. What am I going to do? Right? He's going to be right up for it, as he always will be for every game. He's a really good player. Villa defence is not impenetrable. He's a perfectly reasonable captain. One day he will score against Aston Villa. Mark my words. It might not be now, but it will happen at some point. I wouldn't captain Wood just because of early subs and stuff like that. Again, I just think there's better options this week. Play 3. Welbeck, Smith Rowe, Ain't Nuri, Lewis Hall, or Colwill. Well, you're not benching Welbeck, are you? I would probably play Welbeck, Smith Rowe, Ain't Nuri, I think. I'm captaining Saka, but I can't believe the distaste for Palmer in the comments. Forget the team he's playing. We've just seen him score 4 in one half this season. But it'd be nice if he could do it again, though. This week would be a great start. I wouldn't get 15 Arsenal players if I could, but if there was no limit on players from a team, I would have 5 Arsenal players. Said that before. I'd have Raya, Saliba, Gabriel, Timber, and Saka. But obviously you can't do that, so it doesn't really matter, I guess. Play McNeil or Rodgers. Probably McNeil, I'd say. There's probably not a lot in it. And the fact you got Sanchez, I guess you could use that as another excuse to do it. There's no news on Gabriel. It's a wait and see, according to Arteta. Surely City do some damage against Liverpool, i.e. Haaland. Why can't he score in the Premier League but smash it in the Champions League? I mean, that happens sometimes, right? I suspect City will score, yeah. I don't see Liverpool keeping a clean sheet. Pick 3, Ain't Nuri, Timber, Porro, and Hall. I would bench Lewis Hall. I want to captain João Pedro so bad. Look, lots of people have asked me about João Pedro, and as I always say, I don't want to sit here and put people off what they want to do. If you want to captain João Pedro because it's Southampton at home, you want to captain in the first game, whatever the reason is, don't let me put you off. He's not a terrible pick. But I just think he's not all that long back from injury. Brighton have lots of attackers. There is a chance that they're doing well in that game and they just start making early subs. Now, obviously, if they're doing well, you would hope João Pedro's been involved. But I'd rather just have a midfielder where possible, especially, who's likely to play like 80 to 90. Like, I think João Pedro is a bit like... I think the João Pedro hype is getting a bit high for how good he's a great option, but I think the hype's getting a little bit much around him. Should I sell Luis Diaz for next week? I would. When you get a spare transfer, I would get rid of Luis Diaz, yeah, because there's just too much competition from Gakpo. I miss the days of everyone wildcarding in Luis Diaz in Game Week 6. Emerson is 4.4 on corners. West Ham are having decent fixtures after Arsenal. Thoughts on the pick? I mean, one of my worries would just be the West Ham defence in general. Could be a problem. Like, he is attacking enough. His attacking numbers are actually pretty good. Leicester away, Wolves at home, Bournemouth away, Brighton at home, Southampton away. I don't hate it. I just think you can get a similarly priced player from a better defence, I guess. But Emerson probably goes down as I don't hate it. Smith Rowe to Matoma, Mbeumo to Saka, or Vardiol to Trent. There's no way I would do Vardiol to Trent. I wouldn't sell Mbeumo this week. I'd do Smith Rowe to Matoma, but if Smith Rowe to Matoma blocks Mbeumo to Saka next week, I wouldn't do it. I would just roll. Either of Haaland and Lewis to JP and Gabriel, or Haaland and Rodgers to John. Haaland and Rodgers, that's JP and Saka worth for -4. So I would want Saka longer term. If it doesn't block you from getting Saka, I would just get Gabriel now and Saka later. Is Konate 100% out? Yes. Start Konza or take a -4 for James out for Carwell. Start Konza, I think. Amorim realised Bruno has to be a forward. I'm not sure he has, to be honest. I think there's a very good chance he plays in that deeper role again. Imagine if he benches him. Oh, that all hell would break loose if that happened. Like the speed in which Bruno Fernandes would drop in price would be crazy. When are Man United playing, by the way? It's Sunday, isn't it? It's at 1:30 and it's not on TV. Yeah, you've got Man United, Everton, Spurs, Fulham not on TV. Chelsea versus Villa though. So Cole Palmer captaincy. Nottingham Forest versus Ipswich is the 3 p.m. game on Saturday. There's no early kickoff on Saturday either. That sucks a bit. Arsenal West Ham 5:30. I don't think I can watch it. I did watch the Nottingham Forest game though. Play Smith Rowe or Rodgers. Probably Smith Rowe. If Salah, Haaland, and João Pedro scored, what is the gain from captaining Pedro? I have them all. Well, the gain is double whatever he scores, right? Don't complicate it. Who do you think is going to score the most points out of Salah, Haaland, and João Pedro? That should be your captain. Haaland and Rodgers to Saka and João Pedro for a hit. I don't hate it. -4 for Mikalenko to Timber, or start Rico Lewis Mikalenko. I'd probably just start Mikalenko. Abby, 60-month member, thank you. No way Vardiol is stopping Salah. Liverpool will rip into City, absolutely shatter them. Possibly, but who knows? Maybe Ake will play with Vardiol. Maybe both of them will lock Salah down, which will obviously probably then leave space for someone else, but still. I think with people considering Haaland out for a hit, I don't hate it, but it does feel wrong to sell him for 4 points. But people have done it recently, it's worked out, so you never know. I can feel my throat getting sore from talking already, and we've got 56 minutes left of this deadline. That is not an ideal situation to be in. Best Haaland replacement, no budget constraint, already have Cunha and João Pedro. I'd probably buy Isak, I think. One free transfer, deciding between luxury move of Solanke to João Pedro or more needed move of Lewis to Van Heck, or just roll. I would roll or do your more needed move, I think. Not too far off 500,000 subscribers. We're still quite a way off, to be honest. But I guess we're closer than we were yesterday, which is nice. Probably won't even... I don't think I'll hit it next season. I think it'll be another 2 seasons. If someone has been a member for around 20 months and stops their membership, then subscribes again later, will the membership count start over from scratch? I don't know. But I suspect that someone in here has once cancelled their membership and started it back up, so they could probably tell you. I would guess that it'll recount it, but I do not know. Oh, no, it doesn't. Okay, so if you're a member for 6 months, then you cancel for 3, and then you come back, it would say 7 months next time. There you go. I knew someone would have done it. Thoughts on Son to Saka or Son to Palmer? I'd rather get Palmer, but there's every reason you could just keep Son this week. Haaland's fixtures get better after Liverpool, yeah. If you didn't get rid of him in like game week 9 or 10, I think we've missed the boat. I don't think you've missed the boat, but I do agree that the closer you get to those good fixtures, the less it makes sense. You need some background music. Listening to your voice alone for 1 hour is a bit bleak. Thank you very much. Yeah, appreciate that. You have reminded me to change Phoenix. I'm gonna put on Christmas music because it's nearly December. I've got my advent calendar ready and waiting. Can you please make a compelling case to not captain João Pedro? Early sub. That's about it, really. Palmer, Salah, Mbeumo, Saka are all great as well. Start Ahmad or Smith Rowe. I think Ahmad might start, so I'm going to say Amad Diallo. I can't guarantee that though. Start Souček over Luis Diaz. Now that sounds bleak. No, I think I'd play Luis Diaz and hope he starts. I think you have a delightful voice. I think that's probably false, but thank you. Which one do I bench out of these 8 attackers? Come on. I feel, do you know what? I might create a rule where I won't answer questions where people put in players they're never ever going to bench. Like you've got Brennan Johnson in there alongside Salah, Saka, Palmer, in Burma. Come on. You can't include those players. Realistically, the decision between Johnson, Visser, and Cunha Isak, I guess. Like it's definitely Brennan Johnson, no questions out of those picks. Robertson out to bring in Timber for a -4. Simicast is outright, so Robertson will start. So I'll probably just not take the -4, I would say. I have budget for only 2 moves for Game Week 14. Wood to Isak Jackson, Mbeumo to Son, or Aina to Arsenal defender. So only 2 of those 3 moves. I would do the Mbeumo one last and do the other 2, I think. Wish me luck for my architectural presentation tomorrow. Good luck. Hope it goes well. Would you captain Saka if you had him? I don't think so. Play 2 of Rodgers, Larson, Jimenez, or -4. I wouldn't take a -4. I would just start Larson and Jimenez, I think. I feel like I'm really offending people with my opinion on Saka. I've been saying for weeks now I wouldn't captain Saka this week. This is nothing new. Like, do you know what I mean? Next week it will be Palmer captain, not because everyone else is terrible. It's just that he's playing Southampton. Just graduated architecture 2 days ago. Nice, from UE. Nice. I went there for about 6 weeks. Haaland and Rodgers out. -4 for Salah and João Pedro. Again, I don't hate it, but a -4 for Haaland doesn't feel great. Do you need a fire stick? I can sort one. No, I prefer watching it properly. You've been winding people up with Bruno all season. Now it's Saka. But it's mental, like winding people up because I've kept one player in my team, and winding people up because I wouldn't captain Saka over Palmer as if Palmer's terrible. It's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. If you got an extra free transfer this week, who would you bring in, or would you roll? I'd probably, well, to be honest with you, I'd be tempted to get Saka for Bruno and take out Saliba and not get João Pedro till next week. But I'd probably just roll outside of that. How do I stop making so many transfers? Because I feel like I'm missing so many players and getting deducted so many points. What do I do? Stop making transfers. Like, at some point, you've just got to realise that you can't have the best team every single week. And your team is probably not as bad as you think either. Like, there's always going to be another player that you feel like you really need. Like, right now, it's Cunha, João Pedro. Next week, it'll be someone else. Like, you've got to give your players time and not just take hits all the time. I haven't taken a single hit this season. I might take one next week, but I try and take as few as possible. Thoughts on Jimenez to João Pedro? Don't mind it at all. If I had Cunha instead of Strand Larson, I'd be selling Raul Jimenez this week. In fact, that reminds me, he's probably going to drop in price soon, isn't he? Really freaking annoying, that. Oh, he's definitely dropping in price tonight, by the looks of it. Strand Larson might drop too. My throat is not going to last this deadline stream. I don't know how much more water. Actually, I haven't drank that much water. Strand Larson to Watkins. That's an interesting one. I mean, Watkins is better, but he's a lot more money. I'd rather keep the money out of that position. Oh, Raul Jimenez dropping in price. What a killer, man. He better be good. Rest of this season. Strand Larson could drop in price tonight. João Pedro could go up in price again soon. 8 Nuri's due another price increase. That seems like madness. You're going to hate my moves this week, but oh well. Solanke and Semenyo to JP and Matoma -4 roaster. I don't hate it. Don't hate it. I wouldn't do it, but it's different, right? Would you captain in Burma or Salah? I'd like to think I'd captain in Burma because that's where my vice captain is, but I'm not sure I actually would. You might have to turn on to a different stream. I'm not sure I can make this. Harden out isn't a bad idea because you just wildcarding back in New Year. But you probably won't want to use your wildcard straight away, though. Very unlikely you'd want to do that, I don't think. Start coffee or green tea? Neither. I'd rather have a Coke Zero, to be honest. Gonna roll this week, then sell my Forest players. It's finally time to get rid of Chris Wood. João Pedro, yeah. I'm not ill. It's just a sore throat from talking a lot. That's all. And also, I bought out like 2 big things of water, and I've only drank like this much. That's probably not helping. Probably if I drink too much, then I'll have to go to the bathroom. Thoughts on making transfers based on stats versus just watching him play in game? I think you can probably do very well at FPL without ever having to watch a game, and I know people will hate that. But if I've said this before, if I had a choice, right, and we're not talking about enjoyment because obviously we all love watching football. If I had a choice between making all my FPL decisions on games that I watch or all my FPL decisions on stats, I would choose stats. I think I would do better without the games. If it was only a choice between the two. Obviously, in reality, we do not have to make that choice. We just do both. But, yeah. People will hate that. I know, but that's how I feel. I'm sorry. Never trust a man that doesn't drink coffee or likes football. I tried to enjoy coffee once. Didn't last. Eye test is really important. Eye test is generally quite overrated, but yeah. Couldn't you just see the stats yourself by watching the game? Not really, to be honest with you. Like sometimes I watch a game, like last night, for example, Bruno Fernandes, and I think he really wasn't that advanced. I don't really remember him getting too many shots, but maybe he did. And I can easily check that through stats. I can't check it easily with the eye test apart from watching the game again and noting down every time he has a shot or whatever. Like overall, I've got a good picture of how Fernandes played last night, but maybe there's stuff I missed. Eye test is definitely overrated, but like I don't. This is not an argument I really want to get into because ultimately it doesn't matter. You should just play the game how you want. What are your thoughts on Saka captain over Palmer? That's a great question. Not discussed that one yet. I don't hate it. If you want to captain Saka over Palmer, you absolutely should. You absolutely should. Start mince pies or Christmas pudding? Good question. So a Christmas pudding is one of those things that I quite like, but realistically, if it was offered all year round, I'd almost never choose it. I think with mince pies, you can eat more mince pies before you get sick of them than you would Christmas pudding. Like you want Christmas pudding once on Christmas Day, and that's it. You never want to have it again for the rest of the year. So I'm gonna have to say mince pies. I probably thought about that question more than most other FPL questions. Do I think Trent will get the full game? I think there's a chance because of injuries, but it's really hard to know because we haven't seen him play since the injury. Surely the current most informed striker at home versus Saints is the pick. He's not bad. Not bad. Oh, eye test for sure is overrated. I would argue it's liability, in fact. Yeah, I won't say I agree with that, but I do think sometimes... Like, you'll hear it all the time. We can't go for this player. He's way too wide. And sometimes I think once people notice that a player's wide a lot, that's what they focus on. And they're not manually adding up the amount of shots or chances they create. They're just, oh, he's wide. He's not getting into goal scoring positions. And quite often those players just in other games don't play that same role, right? Tactics can change based on games or whatever, or opponent, etc. So I wouldn't say it's a liability, but I do think as FPL manager we sometimes just focus on one thing and miss other stuff. I know I do. Like sometimes if I've got a player in a match, I'll focus so much on them, I kind of miss other bits that are happening. The other thing with the eye test as well is, realistically, you need to watch the whole game, and most people just do not watch all games for 90 minutes every single week. It's difficult to do, right? It's 900 minutes worth of football to get a full picture. You can get a lot of information very quickly from stats, right? Start mince pies, bring on the pudding around 60 minutes, then sub the second mince pie just before custard up front. Custard for sure, by the way, for mince pies. Not ice cream, not cream, custard all the way. Same with Christmas pudding. On watching versus data, we used to have to watch. Stats were limited. I did better in the old days playing for 16 seasons. I think my ranks are quite good from early on, but I also think there was a lot less people, right? Anyway, I don't want to offend everyone. Eye test is perfectly fine. I'm not saying like you can't watch a game and get a good indication of what's going to happen in FPL moving forward. I'm just saying if I had a choice between the two and the only objective, I had to choose one, and the only objective was to do well at FPL, not to have enjoyment of watching football, etc., I would choose stats. Anyway, let's move on from this conversation. Stats don't show you everything. That's true, yeah. They don't show you everything. People who use the eye test have prejudice against certain players. That is true. Eye tests are overrated. There goes the sponsorship of Specsavers. That is a shame. Lost some money there. Anyway, should we get back onto questions for this week? Am I watching the game tonight? Yes, definitely. Definitely. Do. Bench Watkins, start Strand Larson. If I've got Watkins, I don't think I could bench him, even though Larson's got the better fixture. But Watkins is just the better player, right? So I think I would take him. As an Isak owner, the eye test wasn't good against West Ham. See, I tweeted about Isak, right? I didn't watch the full game, so maybe I haven't got the full context. But lots of people saying they were worried about him. But I quickly looked at the stats. He put up like 0.71 expected goals, which seems pretty good to me. Played the full game as well. Like, from what I could see, West Ham didn't create a huge amount of chances that match. Why watch the game tonight when you can just look at the stats? I think you've missed the point in what I said. I don't think you've listened to anything I said. In hindsight, what do you think is the maddest single FPL decision you've ever made? Did you regret it or can you laugh about it? Maddest what? I don't know, really. I'd have to have a long think. But probably blocking Saka this season. Not great. I don't think that's mad, though, but it's not great. Maddest FPL decision? Don't know. I went without Jamie Vardy a lot for when Leicester won the league. That wasn't great. Isak looked very good for the first 20 minutes, very sharp. Then Newcastle as a whole were rubbish. Yeah, I still like Isak, to be honest. Bench Lewis Hall, Jimenez. Please don't ask. Lewis Hall, I think. Worth getting Cunha for Solanke -4. No chance for me. Would I do that? Reasons for Palmer captaincy. He's one of the best FPL picks in the game. Aston Villa at home is a pretty good fixture. I'm hoping that Salah will be heavily captained and fail. In Burmo is not a bad option. I don't own Saka. If I had Saka, obviously he's triple captain material. But yeah. When will I get off triple Arsenal defence? Probably next week. Honestly, I think my team looks fine for this week. I'm quite happy about it, but I'm already not looking forward to all the comments that will come in as soon as West Ham score, despite the fact that will only be one. That'll be one clean sheet and 2 for triple defence, which seems pretty good. Reasons for not captaining Saka. The main one for me is I don't own him. What player in your current FPL starting 11 would you have in a fight? Most of them, I reckon. If you keep joking like this, people are actually going to think you're serious. Probably don't triple captain Saka this week. Not everyone has a good eye. Ooh, controversial. Are you saying that some people who rely on the eye test aren't actually good eye testers? Your words, not mine. Worth getting Matoma for Brennan Johnson -4? Probably not. Was that sarcasm on Sack? Yes. Just to clarify, I think I could probably just put this on repeat, and that would probably do the deadline stream. I think Saka is a good captain option this week. I'm going to take the home game against Parma as slightly better. That's about it. If you want to captain Saka, all you got to do is click on him. Like, you just pretend that Salah's Saka, right? You just click on him, click make captain, save your team, and then happy days. You got Saka captain. That's all you have to do. If you want to captain him, that would be my suggestion. Got no. Saka's great. And the funny thing is, right, after all that, as soon as Saka does really well this week, I'm going to get a load of comments on this stream. Can't believe you were like this with Saka. I think he's brilliant. I don't know how many more times I can say that. I like your little beard. Thank you very much. that sounds so like, I don't know. It sounds like so passionate. I like your little beard. Do you think Kwanzaa will be starting some games over the coming game weeks? I think Gomez will probably be ahead of him. I think so. Did I mention that Harden is out? No, because he's not out. Unless you've seen something that I haven't seen. Which maybe you have. Doodle-doo-doo, doodle-doo-doo, doodle-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Danesh, thank you. Happy days, Saka double digits. Yeah, could definitely happen. Oh, The Office. Yeah, sorry. Completely missed that. The funny thing is, I was actually listening to the Ricky Gervais podcast on Stick to Football. No, not Stick to Football. Yeah, Stick to Football. No, wait, what's? Yeah, Stick to Football. Rest is Football is Lineker's one, right? I like your little beard. You haven't spoken about Cunha as captain. Yeah. This Saka stuff is as bad as the Ronaldo fanboys 2 seasons ago. It is a bit strange, isn't it? The reason science works is it gets rid of human bias. The same reason stats work over the eye test. Oof. Like it. Have I seen the chill guy memes? I've only seen people talking about it. I've not actually seen the memes. I've spammed the same comment most of the stream, and the only comments you responded to are the 2 I've said that isn't a question. Life sucks, eh? Life sucks. US office or UK? Definitely UK. I probably need to rewatch the office, the US one, like in full from start to finish, because I've only seen bits of it. But yeah, I think our FPL might be a little bit. Maybe they're already drinking porn style martinis, possibly. When people are moaning about their captain choice, but I'm a chill guy, I'm just going to captain Nicholas Jackson. Okay. I guarantee you Holly Shand has not tweeted that and you've just fallen for... Oh, okay. In the training photos. He was seen walking to training, though. Yeah, so he's not in training photos, but that's not... They might have just left him out of training photos. We'll see. I thought you meant like she said that he was out. Out. Stats are considered objective, but are not. Lots of things not recorded, and even a solid outcome like goal attempt is subjective. Yeah, fair enough. I don't think we need to keep talking about this. Like I said, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. You do what works best for you. Larson to João Pedro for a -4, considering price changes. I don't like the -4, to be honest. Seen both, and the US is amazing. They took it to another level. I've got to go with the original. Johnson, Haaland to Salah, Jackson, or Watkins -4. Again, I'm just going to keep saying this. I don't hate a -4 for Haaland now. I would do Jackson instead of Watkins, although the 4 yellow cards is a bit annoying. Yes, you tweeted no Gabriel, but no Gabriel in training pictures. Not no Gabriel, he's not starting this week. It would be very annoying if Gabriel is out. But yeah. When's the game, by the way? Is it No, it's tomorrow, isn't it? Yeah. If it was Sunday, I wouldn't worry as much because they could have another training session tomorrow. Didn't the original Office get cancelled after? No, they just stopped. There's lots of shows. There's lots of British sitcoms in particular that stop quite early. Like Only Fools and Horses, for example. Like, you know, if you grew up at a similar time to I did, there's like you feel like there's so many. But I think there's only about 60 episodes or something like that. The Office, there was 12 plus a couple of Christmas specials. Like 40 Towers is only 12 episodes in total. I think Father Ted's like not. I mean, that's not British. Before anyone comes at me, I know it's Irish, but I don't think they've got a huge amount of episodes either. I think it's just a very British thing, whereas Americans just go forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Have all three: Saka, Salah, Palmer. Who the captain? I would go Palmer. Don't lynch me. Do 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 do. Mr. Bean's pretty short as well. Yeah. In Betweeners is good. IT crowd, not for me. When you have triple Arsenal defense because you're a chill guy. There you go. If Spanner smashed it, I'm going to be gutted. You're not selling harder, no? Only Fools did have quite a few seats. Like, it's not on the level of like The Office and stuff like that, but it's not got as many as you think. Like, I feel like it would have like 100 plus, but I think it's like 60 something. Let's have a look. Yeah, 64. It's quite a lot, I suppose, compared to like 40 Towers. But like, I don't know. Growing up, you felt like it was just on all the time, like 100 plus episodes, but it's nowhere near. Have a pint on me. Thanks for the tips. Richard, thank you very much. Pints are expensive. They're not quite £10 yet, but I appreciate it. I might even have 2. Maybe I'll have 2. How's the pound doing versus the euro? Who was in your top 3 players to captain this week? Palmer and Burma and Salah. Saka's number 4. Yeah, the Christmas specials, I guess, made it feel like it was on a bit longer. Hoping for the Coronation Street box set. Yeah, probably Palmer. Yeah, probably Palmer and Burmo. Salah, maybe Saka in there as well. Red Dwarf was good, yeah. Father Ted was 25 episodes. There's not 70 Only Fools and Horses, it's 64. You can't like Father Ted and not the IT crowd. I never really just got into the IT crowd, to be honest. Matt, that's a good quote. I feel we're getting distracted. By the way, do not let me forget I've not made my transfer yet. When it gets about 10 minutes to go, please don't let me forget. Harry Enfield I used to like, yeah. Blackadder I never really watched, so I can't say I dislike it, but I can't say I'm a fan either because I've never really properly watched it. Granddad was better than Uncle Albert, and I avoid any Raquel or Cassandra episodes. Why? Yeah, I know everyone likes Blackadder, but I've just never really seen it. That's all. Little Britain, Peep Show I've never got into at all. And again, I know people are going to go, oh, I can't believe you didn't like it. I just never really got into it. Anyway, is Visser a good shout? He hasn't blanked considering no red or injuries. I think Visser's a good option this week. I wouldn't buy him though. Your brother was in Skins. I've seen a bit of Skins. Who is the worst player? I'm not going to answer that. I'm going Welbeck captain. I don't hate him. Like João Pedro, he could be subbed early. He doesn't even have penalties. I just wouldn't do it. Alex, 23 months. If Dunk starts, bench Van Dijk, Colwell, 8 Nuri or Jimenez. Colwell or Van Dijk, I think. Probably Van Dijk. Bench one of Trent, 8 Nuri, Pinnock, Gabriel, Rogers. 1. Probably Trent. Probably. Just in case he doesn't start. And it's also City anyway. Remember Game On. Great show. Don't know that. Brassic. No. Bottom. Never really watched it. Royal Family was good. Yeah. Like Royal Family. Keeping Haaland will be for a hit if I get rid of him. 0 free transfers. Oh, will be for a hit. Sorry, if you sell him. I thought you meant like it will be a hit if you keep him. I was wondering how the hell does that happen? Red Dwarf, yeah. Yep. Do you still gym? Yes, I was at the gym earlier. No comments, please. I was there. You don't have to believe me, but I promise you I was there. Yeah, young ones never really seen it. Greetings from Finland. I love your content. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Villa are 5th in the league for away games this season. That's why I'm not captaining Palmer. Yeah, fair enough. Who they played away? West Ham, Leicester, Ipswich, Fulham, Spurs, Liverpool. Mostly good fixtures there, yes. Max and Paddy. I liked Peter Kay's stand-up stuff, but I never really watched Max and Paddy. What's your favourite machine at the gym? Mine's the vending machine. I'm going to have to say leg press. The normal questions are better than the FPL ones. Like, you just have deadlines like this. There's not really like... Most people don't have a huge dilemma this week. That's why the questions are like this. Like, okay, some people have got Kanate to deal with. Some people can't really deal with a Gabriel, missing out. But we don't have any news about him. Mostly it's just captaincy mostly, and whether to get João Pedro or whether to take a hit for Haaland. There's not a huge amount else going on, right? Is Wood a sell now for João Pedro or Cunha? I would hold him for Ipswich, I think. Didn't watch Space, no. Geez, so many TV shows I've never seen. I think some stuff as well, like if it was like 90s or whatever, if you never watched it at the time, it's probably not going to be great if you go back and watch it. I do love Only Fools, though. I still watch it now and I still find it funny. Haaland and Diaz to Cunha and Salah for -4. I kind of like that hit, yeah. Play 3-8, Nuri Hall, Colwell, Gabriel. I'd bench Lewis Hall, I think. Diaz to Saka -4 this week or lose 0.2. I would just do it. To play. Seeing Peter Kay next Thursday in London. Enjoy. No big news. Well, all the news is in the bottom right-hand corner. Start Rodgers or Buonanotte. Maybe Buonanotte if you've got him. Like, he's been starting regularly, right? Again, it's a bit like Damsgaard. I've not been keeping track, but I think he has. Didn't start against Chelsea. They got a new manager, though. Was he injured against Chelsea? Can't remember. Maybe if he wasn't injured, I'd go Rodgers. Isak, Watkins, or Jackson next 4 to 5. Isak for me, I think. Andy sitting and rambling with his fans for 2 hours about his childhood. We can get onto childhood TV shows if you want. That's like a whole... There's so many more then. Opinions of the 3-2 Man United match yesterday. Some glimpses of good stuff, especially in the second half. Like some of the build... Like the build-up for the second Højlund goal, I think it was decent. Overall, defensively, still not great, though. And obviously lots of work to do. But it wasn't terrible, I would say. Watkins, Brennan Johnson versus Raul Jimenez. Who do I start 2 out of 3? Watkins and Raul Jimenez, I think. -4 Havertz to Cunha. I don't think I would do that, no. I'd rather do Rico to Timber, but not for a hit, probably. Maybe I should just make my move now. I don't feel... It doesn't feel right selling Strand Larsen instead of Raul Jimenez, but I'm going to do it, probably. If you have Chelsea attack double up, would you captain Cole or Mo? Cole Palmer, I think. Discord's for members only, yeah. There's like 3 tiers of members on YouTube. It's for the top 2. Nightmare was the best children's TV. I don't recall that, to be honest. Nightmare. Oh, was that like the game show? Where like the night would come and like take the kids, essentially. I think I've seen it, but I don't think it was like a favourite of mine. Would you do Johnson Saka for a hit? I'd be pretty tempted, yeah. I don't enjoy Friday deadlines. Had to book a meeting room in the office just to watch your stream. That feels like a good use of company office space. Shall I do this -8 FFS? I'm glad Az is here. Do you know what, right? Talking to the gym, I was in the gym a few weeks ago, and Az sent me a WhatsApp message and said, you're obsessed with Bruno Fernandes. I sent him a nice voice note back saying why I still had Bruno. Not to justify the pick, but just to explain why I still had him and why I didn't pick Luis Diaz. And since then, I've overtaken Az. I'm now 700,000 places ahead of him. So, Az, I'm glad you're watching so I could tell everyone that. Should you do the -8? Sure, because then you'll be even further behind. Can't believe Johnson is a risk, had such great day. Yeah, he's only a small risk though, isn't he? But maybe enough to sell him. Oh, Breaking Bad's amazing. One of the best TV shows I've ever watched. Az, message me on WhatsApp what the -8 is. Because I don't know what you're doing. I'm thinking of getting rid of Watkins for one of either Welbeck or João Pedro for free. Definitely João Pedro. I mean, whether you should keep Watkins really depends on what you're going to do with the money. If you need the money, I would sell him. Come on, Az. Just tell me what the move is. He's giving me grief on WhatsApp now. What's the -8? We'll talk it through together. We've got 22 minutes. Better Call Saul over Breaking Bad. I don't know if that's true, but they're both very good. They're both very good. Raul Jimenez as João Pedro and play Vandenberg or Luca Dean Taparo. I would just play Vandenberg, and yeah, Raul Jimenez as João Pedro is not bad. Wait, what? Hang on. Sorry, we're being trolled by KSI now. That's the real KSI because he's got the tick. Pedro not in the squad. That's got to be rubbish. He's trying to kill us all. Penguin's very good. I've not finished it yet though, so don't give me any spoilers. Haaland and Dibbling to Salah and João Pedro -8. Oh my god. Or just play Haaland and Rodgers. Oh my god. I don't think I would take the -8. I know you're just going to be like, if it doesn't work out, you're going to be stuck with Haaland again next week. Why is KSI here? That I don't know. Maybe he wants a boxing match. Nah, that can't be true. That can't be true. Is he? He's got to be trolling. Oh, you can't say something like that before I've even brought him in. Should we ban him? Yeah, ban him if that's not true. That can't be true. He's not saying anything else either. He's just come in, said no João Pedro and left again. Do I like Prime Drink? I've never had it. Sorry to say. When will the price reflect on selling price? You only get 0.1 million every time you go 0.2 up, basically. Now, if I bring in João Pedro and he misses out, that'd be a nightmare. Yeah, as he's saying, he captain Haaland next week. Oh, I don't think I'd take that -4, but I get it. I do get it for sure. Like, João Pedro and Salah's probably better moving forward, but I don't think I would do it. If it's the real KSI, donate £1,000. That does sound like a good idea. It is that, but no, that is him. That's his channel. He's got the tick. You get verified after 100k. Gabrielle news. There is no news, I'm afraid. Desperately chasing points. Johnson to Matoma -4. I don't think I would do that -4. No. I love how everyone falls for Bruno every year. More impressed you managed to get the real Az on this stream. Az is always watching my stuff. Az is always watching my stuff. Would I play Trent or Aït-Nouri? I gotta play Aït-Nouri, right? Az just messaged me on WhatsApp. He said, "This is the best stream. That's why I'm watching." Oh, you suspended last week, Buonanotte. Fair enough. Then I'd probably just play Buonanotte, I think. Whoever asked me that question about Rodgers earlier. The line has not changed in the Brighton game for a while, so I doubt Pedro is not in the squad. Okay. So that's a betting thing, right? As his stream is 4K, is it? I need to get a new computer soon. Maybe I'll start streaming in 4K. I don't think anyone needs to see my face in 4K, though. Alan Partridge is great, yeah, while we're still talking TV shows. Brilliant. I don't think João Pedro is an outrageous captain pick, but I'm not really considering it myself. Az has a stream. Well, as does Blackbox with Mark. Should I play Garnacho over Nielsen? No, probably not. Who have Bournemouth got? They got someone. Oh wait, who have Bournemouth got? Can't remember now. Away to no, I'd definitely play Evan Nielsen. Twice you have denied Matoma. I think Brighton are going to thump Saints tonight, and Brendan Johnson probably won't start. Yeah, if you think he's not going to start, then it's probably worth the -4. But there is a chance he does play. Yeah, 18 minutes. I need to make my decision. What I didn't want to see is someone coming in and say, hang on a sec. Someone's just sent me a video of the Brighton squad arriving at the stadium. Oh, there's no way I'm rolling and not bringing João Pedro in now. And João Pedro's not been spotted in this video. There's Welbeck, there's Evan Ferguson. Wait, that's João Pedro there, isn't it? That's João Pedro. Who are you talking about? Whoever just sent me that video is João Pedro at 19 seconds in. No? He's in the video. Jesus, making me panic. Yeah, 19 seconds in on that. So it's the Brighton video 11 minutes ago. That's him on his phone. I mean, they're all on their phones. Like, this is 2024. Yeah, that's him there. So he is there. Phew, FPL Gazzy made me worry then. Yeah, he's gonna. Oh God! As has just said that João Pedro is definitely gonna start. Now I'm really worried. Now I'm really worried. Is Palmer really a better captain pick over João Pedro? I think so. Yeah. No, he's definitely in the video. 19. So go to the video Brighton tweeted like 11 minutes ago. He's in the video about 19 seconds in. Unless that's someone else. Transferring João Pedro or Jackson. I'd probably go João Pedro for the money. Who is Az? Someone please tell me. What do you mean you don't know who Az is? Come on. João Pedro captain. I wouldn't do it personally. If you buy a new computer, they better not leave it on the doorstep. Hopefully not. There's just too many parts involved with computers. Honestly, it's like a minefield. You're currently 20th overall. If you're in my place, are you playing it safe with... Honestly, right, just do whoever you think's going to score the most points. Like if you think it's close, then yeah, you could just go for the safer option. The thing is, 20th is amazing, right? I'm not trying to say it's not. It's great, but it's so hard to stay there for the whole season. I wouldn't start overthinking already about going safe pick or not. I would just go for whoever you think is the best. So Salah versus Saka is quite close. I'd probably go Salah, but there's nothing wrong with Saka if that's who you want to go for. When am I going to use my wildcard? I've used my first one already. Look at KSI. João Pedro back in the squad. Yeah. 15 minutes into the deadline. Less than 15. I should just make my move, I think. There's no point in risking it any longer, I don't think. Strand Larsen. If Strand Larsen scores, finally. I mean, Raul Jimenez should have scored last week. I'm just going to go for it now. I'm going to load it up at least. I won't make the transfer just yet. Can't wait for a Welbeck hat-trick as I captain João Pedro. Maybe they'll both get a hat-trick and it's 6-0. I've gone for... So I joined a new last man stand-in last week. And I picked Liverpool first, so I'm through. And I picked Brighton this week. Most people actually picked Brighton as well. I was surprised by how many people picked Brighton. I guess, like, if I was... Like, if you're thinking about it, then everyone else is thinking about it as well. But I thought a few less would go Brighton. But hopefully they win tonight and I stay in. Not sure who I'm going for next week. I don't think João Pedro was limping in the video, no. He looked like he was ready for a hat-trick. That's what I took away from it. Why not sell Raul Jimenez rather than Larson? It's mostly a long-term move. Like, Raul Jimenez is probably better from 17 onwards. And in the meantime, I know there's like 4 or 5 game weeks until then, but Rodgers covers Raul Jimenez quite well. So it's quite close. Do I captain Palmer or Salah? I'm going Palmer because I think he'll score more points, and I'm hoping... I'm just backing against him as well. Like, I think Palmer's going to be slightly more differential captain, but not by much. So I think Greaves starts, probably not. I should maybe put Lewis ahead of Greaves on my bench, but I'm not convinced Lewis will start either. Fernandes or Evan Nielsen? I'd probably start Fernandes, but it's probably closer than it was a couple of game weeks ago. João Pedro looks sad in the video. Might be benched or watching your stream. Maybe he is watching the stream. Maybe. You never know. There probably is a Premier League footballer out there right now watching a FPL deadline stream. Not necessarily this one. It might be a different one. But it's almost certainly the case. There will be Premier League players consuming content. Not necessarily on YouTube. Could be podcasts, articles, whatever. But it's quite likely, I would say. What do you think about captaining Haaland? Am I crazy? I think this is a pretty poor week to be captaining Haaland, personally. Am I going to stream for 15 minutes after the deadline? Not especially, I don't think, but maybe. I need to do the draw for the sleeper pick 'em picks for game week 12 because like 7 or 8 people got the same amount of predictions. If I bought Larson at 5.5 and he goes down, does he stay at 5.5? No, if you bought at 5.5 and he goes to 5.4, then you can sell him for 5.4, basically. Let me see. Get rid of that. Why is everyone saying João Pedro benched? Like, what account have you fallen for now? I'd say an account is trolling on Twitter and everyone's fallen for it. No Brighton news that I've seen. Why is everyone trolling with João Pedro benched? I am waiting till the last minute though. No, there's no news about João Pedro, by the way, that I've seen anyway. It'd be nice if we got some, though. I'd love some news right now. Raptor thought you tweeted that. Tweeted what? I never tweet. I only blue sky now. Stranger Man, 39 months, thank you. Play Van Heck or Gabriel. Ooh, I'd probably... Oh, that's a tough one. I'd probably play Gabriel still. Someone's just liked a very old tweet of mine saying Estepinian start, João Pedro bench. But that's like from 2023. One of Ross's mods retweeted one of your old tweets. Oh, damn. That is not ideal. How long we got left? Less than 10 minutes. João Pedro or Cunha in? Probably João Pedro. Captain in Burma or Saka. I'm going to say, I don't know. No, people have got me all confused about Saka now. Probably in Burmo, but Saka's probably the more, not safe is a bad word, but probably Saka. Mohammed, thank you. Bruno to Palmer -4, worth it to captain over Salah? No, I don't think so. We'll just captain Salah in that case. Dude. But has anyone played that new UFL game, by the way? Is that out today or is it? Oh no, is it out next week? I just seen them tweet. What's my top 3 shows ever? Oh, I'm not sure. Don't know. I'd have to think about it. Breaking Bad's probably in there. I don't know. Raul or João Pedro? João Pedro. João Pedro. The Witcher is awesome. I only saw the first series. Bruno to I wouldn't make moves tonight, I don't think. That feels a bit risky. Watch The Sopranos. I will watch it probably at some point. Game of Thrones was good, yeah. I know everyone hates the ending, but still. Best striker for 7.2 million got Cunha and João Pedro. Oh god, less than 7.2 million. I don't actually know. If you've already got those two, 7.2 million. Is there like an obvious pick I'm missing? I wouldn't buy Chris Wood now. Welbeck, maybe? The lap. It's not the right time to buy Raul Jimenez. Strand Larson, double up. The lap doesn't have terrible fixtures. Oh, maybe Evan Nielsen, actually. Wolves away, Spurs at home, Ipswich away. Evan Nielsen, I think. Evan Nielsen or Welbeck. Probably the top 2 for that price. Hoyland, I don't think so. Could be Rashford 9. Cunha or João Pedro? João Pedro for me, member for 12 months, by the way, thank you. I assume you wouldn't do Bruno to Saka to Salah from -4. Probably not, but I wouldn't. If he plays deep again, I wouldn't hate it. Bruno to Palmer -4, worth it to. Oh, I did that one already, didn't I? Sorry. One free transfer, Johnson or Brian in Burmo to Saka. Definitely Johnson, like no doubts about that. Bench, Salah, midfield, Saka, Palmer, Bruno and Burmo. Attack, João Pedro, Wood, Cunha. Oh, I don't think you can bench Salah. I know you got. I'd play Salah over Bruno if you don't want to bench any of those forwards. What do you think about captaining Haaland? Am I crazy? I did that one, didn't I? 6 minutes. I gotta make my transfer. I need an update on João Pedro. Saka and João Pedro for Solanke and Johnson -4. Probably not. Am I expecting a clean sheet from Arsenal realistically? I think they've got just about as good a chance as anyone else. But like, is anyone expecting a clean sheet from their defenders every single week? Probably not, right? Don't worry, I'm not going to forget the transfer. I'm not going to forget it. Like, there's going to be this mass like comments aimed at me if Arsenal lose their clean sheet, as if every other defender always gets clean sheets every week. Like, it's like I said the other day, the rational thinking goes out of the window for people when it's triple defense. And I'm not getting into a Saka discussion. I know I shouldn't have blocked Saka, but outside of that, there's nothing wrong with triple Arsenal defense. Like, they're probably the best defense in the league. The stream is behind by 7 seconds to real time. How did you know that? You're probably not wrong, but I wonder how you know that. Brennan Johnson versus Morgan Rogers. I'd be tempted to risk it and start Johnson. Play 2, Aït-Nouri, Vandenberg, Hall and Gordon. Gordon and Aït-Nouri, I think I'd play. Surely Prison Break is top 3. Probably. I don't really remember Prison Break all that much, to be honest. Faith in Gabriel if you only had 3 starting defenders. I'd probably have a little bit less faith, but I'd probably go through with it. Oh, they worked out from your deadline time. Okay. That could work, yeah. 24 is the most underrated show ever. I loved 24 at the time. It probably went on too long, but I loved it. It was amazing. At the time, there wasn't really anything like that, I don't think. Whether or not it would still stand up if I went back and watched it now, I'm not sure it would. But at the time, I loved it. Four minutes to get your decisions made. Who's my captain? Not Saka. I've never seen Stranger Things. I'm going to be the only person I know to not bring in João Pedro. Probably not. There's probably other people that haven't done it. You did a rewatch this month. 24. I feel like it would be terrible now. It was great though. Loved it. I've probably still got the box sets. Rodgers to Matoma -4. I probably wouldn't do that because you know Rodgers is going to start. Day of the Jackal is good, yeah. Agree. I've got yesterday's to watch. No, probably not tonight, but soon. On the day of the California presidential primary. As said, he rewatched 24 season 1 to 3 a few years back, and it was great. I might rewatch it at some point. Might watch it before. I seem to. Yeah, it went on too long. I seem to remember that anything involving like his daughter being kidnapped or whatever always just felt a bit annoying, like Alicia Cuthbert. But otherwise, it was decent. Also, his wife in that, Terry, was in Suits. She was the lawyer towards the end. How is Wood captain over Salah, Saka, JP, or Palmer? I probably wouldn't captain Wood over any of them apart from maybe João Pedro. Still haven't seen Breaking Bad. You should watch it. It is really good. It is really good. Did you triple up because there was a lack of quality defense, but in attack there are many options, so overall combination-wise you get more points? That was kind of the idea, but it all relies on Son being great, and I'm not sure Son is going to match Saka. But like Saliba and Son might be better than Saka and a different defender. But I think Liverpool defenders will be good from game week 15 onwards. So the idea that you need a triple up is probably not all that true at all. But I still agree that I still stand by the fact I won't be captaining Saka all that much. In that case, it's Haaland and Rodgers to Salah and Evan Nielsen for a -8 cat. Yeah, I don't think you can do that. Right, I'm just going to make my transfer. Strand Larson to João Pedro, done. And that's it, I think. I think that is it. Triple Arsenal defence again. Yes, they may well concede their clean sheet. I'm fully aware of that. Palmer captain is going to stick. In Burmo vice captain. João Pedro must be in the squad. He's at the ground. Stop worrying too much. Stop worrying too much. You're getting trolled by an account. Like, it's not FPL Tony. I'm almost certain. Relax, people. Relax. FPL Tony probably wouldn't have the info now anyway. Go and check the actual Twitter account. KSI, good luck. Good luck after making me worry about João Pedro. I'm just going to double check. Am I locked in? I'm locked in. Palmer captain. João Pedro in. No Saka. I might get Saka for a hit next week. In Burmo vice captain, am I actually happy about that versus Salah? Probably not. If Gabriel misses out, I've probably got no defender because Lewis is rubbish and Greaves probably won't start. All right, 6, 5, 4. And I'm going to do the sleeper draw in a second. By the way, before you all run off, make sure to give it a like, hit that subscribe button. Why not? Try and get to 500k. Like tomorrow would be nice. Probably not going to be tomorrow, but it'd be good. There you go. We're locked in. We are locked in. That is my move. Oh, we're not locked in. Still live apparently. Ben captain Palmer, no transfers. Ben's team's great. He's going to get Saka next week, I'm sure. He doesn't have triple Arsenal defence, so that's a good sign. 24, you just need to swerve season 6. I can't remember. The saddest the saddest moment in 24 was, oh, what was his name? Oh, I can't remember his name. It's going to bug me now until I remember it. Edgar. That was the saddest the bit in 24. Edgar. Curtis. No, it's Edgar, right? Wood Chopper to outscore João Pedro. Could happen. Oh, poor Edgar. I can't believe I've just thought of that. Feel sad for him. Let me just quickly do this draw a second. Okay. That looks like it's okay. So this is the draw for game week 12 on Sleeper. So all these people on the side, they got 7 predictions correct. The winner gets £100 worth of Amazon gift vouchers. So let's just quickly do the draw. No, I don't think what you just said in season 1 was as bad. Michael W96. I will message you after the stream if I remember to get your details to send that on to you. If you want to join the Let's Talk FPL Sleeper Pick'em League, there is a link in the description below. You just have to make your predictions before the game starts tonight about who you think will win or draw each of the games. And there's prizes on offer every week at the moment. I don't know if that'll be for the whole season, but for right now, it looks pretty good. I actually need to submit my picks. I haven't done them yet. And if I don't do them now, I will forget. Let me just bring it up on stream a second. Can I do this? Probably can. Oh, don't leave me alone. Oh. What the hell? Hang on a second. Christ, You didn't hear that, did you? Just all of a sudden, music just increased massively in my ears, which is not ideal. It's not working now. Okay. Did I watch F1 qualifying? No, I got no interest in F1, to be honest with you. QR code doesn't seem to work. There is no QR code on screen. Use the link in the description below. That should work. Sorry, I just need to check this is working properly. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to submit my picks quickly now. So Brighton to win tonight. I've got to back them. I've got them in last man standing. Brentford to win. Palace versus Newcastle is quite tricky. Because I think the obvious one is to go for Newcastle, but I don't know if they definitely will win. I'm gonna go for Crystal Palace upset, although it probably should just be Newcastle. People saying the QR code. What QR code? There is no QR code on screen. All right. Forest to beat Ipswich. Bournemouth to beat Wolves. Sorry, Cunha, you're blanking this week. Arsenal to beat West Ham. Chelsea Villa draw after a Palmer hat-trick. Somehow Villa have also scored 3 goals. Man United to beat Everton. Spurs to beat Fulham. And I think I'm going to go for a Liverpool win, even though it would probably be a draw. The QR code in the description. There is no QR code. The link, you mean? The link. The link should be working. That's my picks. That's all you have to do every week. Simple as that. It's free to play. Join the Let's Talk FPL mini league, and that is it. If there's a draw, so if more than one person has the same amount of predictions, I'll just do a draw like I did on this stream. So if more than one person has the same number of correct predictions, I'll do the draw for game week 13 on the game week 14 deadline stream. Basically. Is there a prize for overall season? I don't think so, but maybe I might do that. If you click on the link, it asks you to join the league by scanning the QR code. The code doesn't work. Oh, hang on a second. Let me just check I've got the right link a minute. That's a bit annoying. Oh, don't leave me alone like this. Don't you say it's the final kiss. Let me see. It's not UK only, no. Hang on a sec. No, that should be... Oh, sugar, that's the wrong thing. Copy the link. Yeah, that's the only link I've got. I'll have to The link doesn't work. The QR code doesn't work, no. Let me see. I can't. My phone won't read it off the computer screen. A bit annoying. I'll have to just keep. I'll tweet it out later. I'll have to message them about why it's not working. The link goes to a QR code. Okay. You can't just join. You can't scan that QR code, no? Copyright claim for those vocals, possibly. Anyway, I'll leave it there. Thank you very much for watching. Message me on Twitter if it's not working, and I'll get him to have a look. No, I'm not going to stay for the team news because there's dinner and stuff. No, the QR code on my recent videos for the Champions League game, not the Pick'em game. Yeah. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I will enjoy the weekend. Let's hope that Arsenal keep a clean sheet and Bruno Fernandes goes mad. Now everyone's got rid of him. And yeah, I'll leave it there. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you again soon. Well, I won't catch you tomorrow. I'll catch you on Sunday, which is pretty soon. So I'll catch you again soon. See ya.